Namaskaram. Asmatgurubhyo namaha, asmatbrahmagurubhyo namaha, asmatsarvagurubhyo namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Let me just close the door. So this session, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. The thing is, this session is about question answers. I have to tell you that some of the I just didn't organize the questions in a way I should have organized. I took it from more like a chronological order of which questions came first. And one question was asked, I think, by Aditya ji earlier in the class itself, and even after class or something like that. Then later on, Koile ji asked some questions, and then Asen asked another question, I think. So in a rough order, we will try to deal with these questions. Okay, yeah. Let me get to the questions and first state the questions. Okay. So, okay, I maybe might have to share these questions online so that you will understand what I'm talking about. I'll share this. Okay. I'm sharing this doc. I hope you can see this doc. Can you see this doc?
Yes.
Okay. The first question says, in lecture 57, pure jnana becomes buddhi when filtered through the mind, similar to fire appearing on fuel. Question: what does mind refer to here? Is it manas, saṅkalpa vikalpatmaka, or is it antar-karaṇa? Okay. This is the first question I'll try to answer. Actually, this question itself has some issues. Manas itself is antar-karaṇa. Antar-karaṇa means inner organ. There is only one inner organ, right? Manas. See, we are only talking about Vishishtadvaita here. There may be slight differences in other systems of thought like Advaita, Sankhya, Nyaya, Buddhism. So these are, there are 6 Shat Darshanas. The Shat Darshanas came from pretty much the Hindu soil, right? Indians, Indus Valley, whatever you want to call, that region of geography. That's where these thoughts came from. But really speaking, each system specializes and gives a slightly different twist to the same concept. So antar-karaṇa means there is only one, that is mind, according to Vishishtadvaita. And the mind itself has different functions. And we'll talk about this saṅkalpa, vikalpatmaka. And also, I have to mention that in the in the question, there was a hint while talking. Oh, saṅkalpa vikalpatmaka is well defined in Advaita, and why in Vishishtadvaita is not well defined. Something like that kind of a tone I heard. Maybe I mistook, but I did hear that tone. Let me come to the answers here. Just a second. Unfortunately, I have stop. I'll do a stop sharing now, and I'm going to get back to share a PowerPoint. I made several PowerPoints today. I did not combine them to one PowerPoint. It is a lecture 58. Maybe I will do it someday and put them together. And sometimes this question answers might be a little bit more interactive, but we don't want to take it long. But if you have some strong feelings, you can definitely talk about this. Okay. So manas and antar-karaṇa in Vishishtadvaita Vedānta based on Sri Bhashya, Vedānta Sangraha, Tattvatraya. I'm not sure Tattvatraya was written by Vedanta Deshika or Pillai, I think. I'm not sure. Tattva Mukta Kalapa, Nyaya Siddhāñana. There is a Tattvatraya Adhikara in Rasitraya Sara of Vedanta Deshika. I don't know what this Tattvatraya means. Some of this information I got right out of the AI tools actually, and I watched the tools. There are, though, definitely problems with AI tools. AI tools is just it will just go one level deeper than what you can think of if you don't know that you don't have the text in front of you. I don't have any books here, so I have to go through the internet. It can probably pick up some information, but by the time you make the AI tools tell you what you really want, you have to ask 10 different level of questions, making sure that it doesn't do mistakes. Okay, coming back here. Slideshow. You can see the slides, I guess. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, manas is part of sukshma sharira, subtle bodies. In the subtle body, there are several things. Indriyas are also subtle body. That is, manas and indriyas constitute the subtle bodies. The indriyas are external and internal. External means like eyes, you can see the eyeball here, you can see the skin, you can see the external is one aspect. There's an internal hardware and a connection to your consciousness. That's how you know, right? If I see a tiger, my mind and my consciousness will know that I saw a tiger. Who is the knower there? The knower has to be a conscious chit entity. Chit is consciousness. It cannot be a jada vastu. Jada is insentient vastu. It cannot be an insentient entity. Chit has to be a sentient entity. So the knowledge comes to a sentient entity through different tools, and these tools are the internal organs and the external organs all put together. Hardware, software, whatever you want to think about. So manas is part of the sukshma sharira, which is a big part of the sukshma sharira. It's an internal organ. Internal organ mainly is manas only, because the indriyas have external and internal aspects of it. Next comes manas is satya, real. Well, this is all like superficial AI stuff. What exactly reality? What exactly is reality? What is unreality? These things will bother us eventually. I did not particularly take up the question of what is satya and what is asatya. Okay, I have to stop here and ask you a very clear, pointed question here. I'm going to stop share. I will ask all of you, have you read Satyanveshana paper properly? And how many people have read this Satyanveshana paper? We have 9 participants. I need answers from everyone.
I read it.
You read it?
Hello?
Yes. I also read it.
Sureshji, yes?
Yes, I also read.
I have also read it. I have not read it.
You have not read it. Who has not read the paper?
I have not fully gone through and then try to understand it. Like you gave it to me and then I skimmed through it. I have not gone through it thoroughly where I can say that I have gone through and then understood it, kind of a thing.
Okay. Adiji, how about you?
Yes, I have.
You have read?
Yes.
Okay. See, the thing is, this is where the problem is. If you read this paper very deeply, you will understand some interior truths about Satya. What is Satya, what is not Satya? I'll just give you a small hint here. We will take up this, what is Satya, what is Asatya, eventually in a separate Q&A or some session. Maybe tomorrow, maybe some other day. See, Advaita view of Satya, Asatya is different. Vishishtadvaita view of Satya, Asatya is different. But they are similar. For example, many people don't understand in the for Advaita, other than, okay, let me state from a simple way, right? For Advaita, other than Nirguṇa Brahman, everything is asatya. Saguna Brahman is also asatya. Jīva is asatya. Jaḍa or insentient matter, universe is asatya. So in Advaita, there is only one satya, that is Nirguṇa Brahman only. In Vishishtadvaita, most people agree that there are three reals. Jīva is real, Jaḍa is real, that is universe is real, and then Atma, Paramatma, Brahman is real. Here Atma means not jīvātman, Paramatma. Atma directly means the Atma of the Upanishads, which is actually Brahman. So Atma is the highest word in Upanishad, not Brahman. Brahman is Brihu Upachaye. Brihu means it grows. After creation, before creation, when it is ready to create, in this stage you talk about Brahman. But when it is beyond all words and all things, you call it as Atman. That is the nature of Upanishad. That is the meaning in the Upanishads. So coming back, in Vishishtadvaita, most people think there are three reals, Jīva, Jaḍa, Paramatma. But are they in the same level of reality? This is the question. Now, I will pose this question to you because many of you have read Satyanveshana paper. What does Vishishtadvaita say about the reality of Jīva and Jaḍa, the reality of sentient individual beings like us, and matter and universe, put together as universe? So, what does it say about the reality of it? Can anyone say?
Swami, even for Shankara's Advaita, it is not really asatya. It is a mithya, right? It conditionally exists, and similar to that in the paper as well, the Satyanveshana, the upādhika satya is conditional existence. So it's both the same. The reality, the ontological reality of the three entities, Jīva, Jaḍa, and Ishvara, are true in conditional reality.
See,
and in unconditional, sorry.
I think you're a little bit mixing up Advaita and Vishishtadvaita here.
No, it is universal in diversity, sir.
What?
It is they're close together, but at the same time they are separate.
See, now we only talk about what is real, what is unreal. That's all I am asking. What is real? According to Vishishtadvaita, Jīva, Jaḍa, is it perfectly real? According to Advaita, if Jīva, Jaḍa is real. What is Satya Pada? That is why, when you start talking in English, we will lose the whole context. What is termed as Satya in Advaita?
Brahman only.
Brahman only. And is Saguna Brahman Satya in Brahman?
No.
It's not.
Saguna Brahman. No.
It is appearance. See, when you, if you have studied Satyanveshana paper in depth, I don't find fault with you that you may or may not have understood it. I don't really find fault with you, honestly. You know what? It took us 3 years of interaction with Sri Kesvi Swami, a group of people, myself, Manivaradrajan, Krishnamachari, who is no more, a couple of other people, like, several people were there in Balaji, Srinivasan, and then several other people. In fact, somebody from Texas called Sudarshan, we lost touch with this person. I don't know what happened to him. So several people were there in the class. We're talking about 2003, 2004 time frame. 2006 maybe we recorded, I'm not sure. When we discussed this, we argued for 2 to 3 years before we even wrote the paper. We refused to write the paper saying that, look, Kesvi Swami is not Vishishtadvaita person. And if we write it, we will misrepresent Vishishtadvaita, or we have understood Vishishtadvaita totally wrongly, which we don't want to accept because we had gone through 25, 30 years of education under different acharyas before talking to K.S.V. Swami. So we refused to accept what he was telling us. So this is the situation, and I do understand that this paper is hard. For example, how many people have read the Vivarta portion of that paper? What is Vivarta?
Apparent, this one, sir. Vivarta means it's not real. It's only apparent transformation.
It's
It's
apparent
called Vivarta.
transformation. See, this apparent transformation according to the modern Advaita scholars. Okay. In the olden time, in the Sankshepa Sharirika and even Sarvajñatam, who is that? Some other person there has clearly said Vivarta is Viparita Parinama.
Bhartru Prapancha.
Bhartru Prapancha, right? So thing is, he talks about Viparta as not apparent reality. It is extreme change. Parinama means change, right? Extreme change is known as Vivarta. The word Vivarta changed eventually in Sanskrit. Says that is the problem with Sanskrit, right? If you look at a dictionary in Vivarta, you find different views. And the word Vivarta is used by great acharyas of the past, like Bhartru Prapancha or somebody, Upavarsha maybe. They use it in different sense. They don't use it in the same modern sense. That is why I think today Koileji did not attend the class. What do you call, several people have the idea that they can just look through internet and then AI tools will give you a translation of Sanskrit, and then everything is all right. So you don't need to study. So all these people like K.S.V., Uttamur Swami and all who studied Nyaya, the Tarka, Vyakarana, Sankhya and all these Siddhantas for 30, 40, 60, 70 years wasted their time. If they had internet, they would have learned everything in 3 years. That's the wrong idea. Internet guides you wrongly. In philosophy, I found it clearly. In one, I asked internet, say that according to Vishishtadvaita, tell me about Manas. Then he says, in one of the answers, it said, look, knowledge of the external world comes to Manas through Chidabhasa. But Manas is actually non-sentient. It is insentient entity. But how does Manas know external world? According to Vishishtadvaita, I was asking about Vishishtadvaita question. In Vishishtadvaita, according to Ramanuja Sampradaya, how does Manas know outside? It comes out and says, because of Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa, that is reflection of the external world in Brahman. This Chidabhasa is a term used by Advaita text. Then immediately I challenged the internet, that is AI tools. Said, I asked you to stay with Vishishtadvaita terminology, and you are saying Chidabhasa here. In what Vishishtadvaita text any acharya has stated Chidabhasa as a term? Please tell me. Then the internet tool tells me, sorry, you have asked a very good question. The Chidabhasa comes from Advaita texts and post-Advaita writers. Chidabhasa does not come, and the concept of reflection does not even exist in Vishishtadvaita, because Vishishtadvaita holds all knowledge is real. All experiences are real. So what happens is when you go through AI tools or translations or anything like that, English translations, be sure that what you understood is exactly what was meant. It's hard otherwise. Okay. So coming back, the definition of reality also, I will go through it in some other class in detail. In Vishishtadvaita, the definition of reality is different. It says, Nirupadika Satta is only one Brahman. Unconditional truth is Brahman alone, according to Vishishtadvaita. And because in one sentence, Ramanuja.org in the Jignāsadhikaranā of Sri Bhashya, he has said, Satata vikaraspadam acetanam tatsamsrishtas chetanascha vyavrittaha, he says in that. You can go through the exact lines in the paper, Satyanveshana paper. Satata vikaraspadam acetanam. That means the universe is constantly changing. Satata vikara, constantly changing. You buy a car, and after some time the car is rusted. If you see anything in the world, everything goes through change. Matter goes through change constantly. The electrons are moving all the time. Everything in matter goes through constant change. That is satata vikara. So that is not included in the category of unconditional truth. Tat samsrishtas chetanascha. So even the jīvātma, individual soul, jīvātma, who is stuck in matter, who has a body, who is who is exposed, attached to this world. Samsrishta means they are combined, they are associated with matter. Even that does not come under the category of unconditional truth. So what is truth according to Vishishtadvaita? That which does not change. That which does not change is truth. Oh, is this the real definition of truth in Vishishtadvaita? Look at how complex things will become. Even that seems questionable here. Because Brahman, he says, so kamayata bahusyam praja yeti tatapotapyata. This is the, this is the Taittiriya Upanishad, second Valli, I think. So kamayata. So if it is says, it is so kamayata, he willed. Can Brahman will? If he wills, then he becomes savishesha. Savishesha means he has attributes.
Swami, can you explain this? What you just said? Like if he wills, then he has attributes. How is that?
If he wills, so kamayata bahusyam. That means he thought, that is Brahman thought, that I will become many. Bahusyam means I will become many. Exact Sanskrit to English translation. I will become many means Brahman becomes many there. And he says, so kamayata. That means he thought, he willed. Akamayata is willed.
So, did I hear you correct when you said that Jīva is not eternal? Jīva is eternal, according to what we have been studying all along.
I didn't say anything. Eternality, I didn't say anything.
No, eternal means you said.
See, what it is not. Please listen carefully. Jīva does not come under unconditional truth according to the statement given by Ramanuja.org. I'm not talking about my statement. I'm not talking about case.
I got it. But I want to understand what is the difference.
Because Jīva is associated with change of body, bondage, ups and downs, sukha dukkha, all these things Jīva is associated. So that is not at the same level of reality. So that is why this comes to a fundamental problem of what is reality, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the thing is, this is where it is all muddled up, and that is why I did not, and Adiji rightfully pointed out, let us not even ask the question of what is real, what is unreal. It is too complicated. And we will do a separate class on what is real, what is unreal. But I would like you to study the Rita, Anrita, Satya portions of the Satyanveshana paper first. Please read that. And then we'll come back to it.
That is where I got lost. That Rit word, made me confused, and then, I could not proceed further. So, yeah.
It needs,
maybe you can take it up. Yeah.
Okay, one thing I tell you, I'll be honest with you. these words are used in different sense because Sanskrit is flexible. They are used in different sense by different acharyas. That is the biggest problem. Sanskrit has this wonderful flexibility. I call it is a curse of Sanskrit.
Sir, but unwritten they say asatya, they say in Taittiriya Upanishad, as per Advaita, written is satyam, they say.
See,
is it true?
that is the problem with translation. Ramji, that is the problem with translation. Nritam means not Ritam. Ritam is what? Is Satyam. What is Ritam? Is cosmic truth. That cannot be changed. Ritam natyeti kinchana. There is a sentence in Upanishad or Vedas. Nobody can cause Rita. That means Rita will happen. That is the will of the Lord. Will the stars be born? Yes, they are born. Will stars be destroyed? Yes, they are destroyed. Will earth be born? Yes. The unconditional, whatever happens in this universe as real and unchangeable, the unchangeable truth is Rita. Satya is different. Satya can be truth in words, truth in talking. Satya has different, Satya also refers to Rita. In the causal state and in the perfection of the universal laws that cannot be defied, that cannot be changed, that becomes Rita. So anrita means lies or untruth is not the correct translation. Anrita means not Rita. So it is Rita Satya Bhinna. Rita Satya means the cosmic truth, that it is different from the cosmic truth. So that doesn't mean that it's lies or unreal or imaginary and things like that. This is where the problem is. So the words have its own problems. Each acharya, if you dive down, these acharyas are not different from each other. That is why finally Kesvi Swami says whatever Shankaracharya intended is same as what Ramanujacharya intended. If Ramanujacharya was born and had to express his truth few hundred years earlier during the times of Shankaracharya, he would have said the same words, because at that time those words had certain meanings. They had a lot of Mahayanika Buddhist contests and things like that. So Shankaracharya's terminology is different.
So, Swami, you still didn't explain how, if Brahman wills, that means it has to be Savishesha. How did you make that conclusion from there?
Savishesha means that has attributes.
Yeah. How did you make that conclusion?
Willing is attribute. If you say Brahman has no attributes, that he cannot will, is Nishkriya. This actually connects the next question asked by Koileji, but I will come to that later. Why don't you think? Hold this question. We will come to that while I am answering Koileji's question next. He has done a good job of citing a particular Shvetashvatara Upanishad in support of Advaita. I will answer that later. But let's get back to our current thing, right? The current.
So it is very clear as to how Brahman is unchanging even in Vishishtadvaita, that it is Sukshma Chidachit and Stula Chidachit, right? That's the process of creation.
See, the thing is, that is one way of looking at that, and even that what do you call? See, Vishishtadvaita, if you would define it as Sukshma Chidachit Vishishta and Stula Chidachit Vishishta, that is one way of explanation, which is a modern way of Vishishtadvaita explanation. But KSV differs from it a little bit, and that is why it's a more deeper issue there. Savishesha, Nirvishesha is the right way of looking at. So Vishishtadvaita should not be talked about Sukshma Chidachit Vishishta and Sthula Chidachit Vishishta. You should not talk like that. You should say Savishesha, Nirvishesha. So that means Savishesha, it has attributes, it has no attributes. Advaita says no.
One more thing, if Brahman wills, it also means it has Gnatritva and Kartritva, right?
Correct. You're right. Brahman wills means it's consciously willing. Consciously, okay, now time to create. Now I was sleeping all along. I'm not doing anything. Nothing was there. There was no explicit, what do you call that? It's not explicit. It is the word is not explicit, implicit. It is actually unmanifest and manifest. So there was nothing manifest before. and I make them manifest, I will become manifest as many. The word manifest itself says from one you become many. So willing obviously shows it has kartrutva, jnatritva, which are attributes. Kartrutva is agency, ability to work. Jnatritva, ability to know, it knows. And it is a yes sarvajna sarvavit, that is the same Shvetashvatara, who is always knowing, ever always knowing. Yasya jnanamayam tapaha. This is the universe, this is expansion.
Would that mean that in the unmanifested state it is unity, and in the manifested state it is like all parts different?
That is a general understanding. Yes, that's the general understanding. The details always, the devil is in the details. So it is somebody says they don't want to use this term devil is in the details. I was boo-booed in one lecture. I said devil is in the details. You're talking Christian terminology. You should not use devil word in Hindu scriptures. That has different meaning in Christian terminologies. You are confusing us. So, okay, I would not say devil. I would say the interesting depth is in the details. Anyway, let me come back to our manas thing. Okay, I mean I'm talking about manas, so let me share the manas PowerPoint. Please mute yourself. Somebody is unmuted. They have to mute yourself. There's noise. There's noise there. Okay. Who has not muted? Ramanathan ji, you should mute. Okay. I think everything is fine. Okay. Now let's get back to that, and I will share the PowerPoint of Manas. Why is it not sharing? Your screen is paused. Stop sharing. Okay.
The question was about mind, right? Like, are you getting there? I just wanted to.
Yeah, mind only. We are coming back to that. See, okay. So the real question of satya, we have to think from different past aspects, because Advaita view of satya and Vishishtadvaita view of satya are slightly different. And it's subtle, very subtle. In fact, the funny thing is Advaita also accepts Vishishtadvaita view of satya, but it throws in a different angle to it because of some Buddhist kind of view, Mahayanika kind of view. Okay, fine. Atom is insentient, jaḍa. Manas is insentient, manas is atomic, acts as internal instrument, karana of the jīva. Okay, now manas and the four modes. Saṅkalpa vikalpa is manas only. So what is saṅkalpa vikalpa? Vikalpa means considering alternatives. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Is it real or unreal? Is this the right way to do or not? Hesitation, deliberation. This is vikalpa. Saṅkalpa means willing. Yes, I have decided I will do this. This is right, this is wrong. That is saṅkalpa. And together, deliberative phase of mind, buddhi is nishchaya. So, manas has four modes. One is saṅkalpa vikalpa, then buddhi is nishchaya, determination, confirms final judgment after deliberation, converts consideration into definite knowledge decision. Ahaṁkāra, self-reference. I know. Links to personal agency. Sometimes ahaṁkāra becomes, ahaṁkāra can be pride. That is known as garva. In Sanskrit, garva means he has, there's a slight difference. He thinks he knows, he has the audacity that he came from the right, family or nobility or something. He's from the king's family. So he has garva. That is different from ahaṁkāra. Ahaṁkāra is self-reference, something reference to his jīvātman, right? So personal agency links consciousness to personal agency. That is ahaṁkāra. So everybody has ahaṁkāra in a way, right? Ahaṁkāra is to act in the world, you need to have ahaṁkāra, otherwise you cannot act in the world. Chitta is smarana, memory, retains past cognitions and actions, enables recall and continuity. So What happens in the flow? Vikalpa first has doubt whether this are right. Then it becomes, the doubt gets cleared and the right knowledge and says, this is what I'm going to do. Decision occurs. That is saṅkalpa. And whatever that knowledge you get is buddhi. Buddhi is known as nishchayatmika jnanam. It is determined knowledge. Okay, I have to ask a question. Is determined knowledge always right? Is determined knowledge always true?
No.
No.
So what causes the determined knowledge to be not true?
The saṅkalpa of, like God, or the probability of not happening. So
Okay.
it's not under our
Anybody
control.
else? Anybody else?
It is the reason of
This-
vikalpa, sir. It is the reason of vikalpa.
Reason of vikalpa. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. But somebody else? Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
Something non-observation and mal-observation causes that.
Okay. You're getting near, but you're still beating around the bush. You're not hitting the right point yet. All of you.
This is what you said in the class, like when we see when knowledge filtered through the mind, it gives us what this discriminative knowledge, buddhi,
Correct.
intellectual knowledge is. So
Sure.
depending on what how we see things, it
Sure.
could be right or wrong. So it is the perception that is through the mind.
What causes right or wrong? You already see from the time vikalpa is you have choices and this is that, this and all. By the time you got to saṅkalpa, you already cleared up and said this is the decision, is the right decision. Then you and that is the buddhi. But how can the right decision be wrong? Sometimes you accepted that you decided on something, but that turned out to be wrong. Why? What causes the error? What causes the wrongness of it? You already thought about it. You had options before you thought, but after thought, you should have definitely got the right answer and the right truth. But in buddhi, you can have wrong buddhi, right buddhi, and all. What is the cause of wrong buddhi and right buddhi? What do you call? What causes it?
Avidya, maybe.
Huh?
Avidya.
Avidya. Okay, that's a generic answer. There is something more specific. The specific is gunas. Sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. Prakriti sambhavaha. So thing is, because of our association with sattva, rajas, tamo gunas of prakriti, again, the definition of sattva, rajas, tamo gunas become very, very deep, and different systems have different views of it. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati, rajah karmani bharata, pramada mohau tamasaha, in the Bhagavad Gita. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattva gives you peace and good knowledge, the right knowledge. Rajah karmani bharata. Rajas buddhi pushes you into action. You require it. The action is required. But if the sattva gives you wrong knowledge, or if the lack of sattva gives you wrong knowledge, it will be wrong and the action will be done in the wrong way. Pramada mohau tamasaha. Pramada is error. Moha means delusion. These are all gunas of tamas. So thing is, a human being is there any person who has only pure sattva guna? What does
Not at
Bhagavad
all.
Gita say?
It's
The realized
Gunamishra only.
people.
What?
The realized people will have.
Okay, what do you call? Any other answer?
Gunamishra only. Not
Everybody
pure.
is Guna Mishra only. Everybody, because association with matter is there, right? Unless Jnani, you may be right, what you say, when Jnani has gone beyond everything, he is not Guna Mishra, that is possible. That is the nature of what you call Gunatita, right? That is the Gunatita Sauchyate. The 14th chapter is about Gunatita. He has gone beyond all the gunas. That is also right. But
even there, No, but even there, even if he is gunatita, since he is embodied, still that rajas tamas will be there in the body. But he will
Exactly.
not.
See, the thing is, what they say is there is no, as long as you're in body, there is this wonderful Apastamba Sutra. I mean, some place where they say, what do you call, Priya Priye, as long as you're in the body, Sukha Dukkha will never leave you. So the final moksha, you see, the jnani concept comes up in Advaita, which says that, okay, I'm here and I'm still mukta or jivan mukta. What people say is perfect mukti does not come in while living, because there is still prarabdha karma associated. So this is a very questionable debate between Advaita and Vishishtadvaita. Well, we'll just roughly say, yes, there is a possibility that jnani is not touched by any guna, but Krishna says there is nothing in this world which is not touched by guna. Everything is connected with guna only. This is what Krishna says in one of the verses. I'm not getting the verse in my mind properly, and I will remember it and let you know. I don't have any textbooks here. I can't look at it right now. Okay, fine. By the way, so what it is, gunas can alter your buddhi is correct. So if your sattvika guna is perfect, and there is no rajoguna or tamoguna, then your buddhi will be true jnana. That will be truth, as it is. But that is still associated with ahaṁkāra. Ahaṁkāra means I-ness. It is related to a personality. And it is still related to a chitta. Chitta means a storage of information which is there forever. You record everything which happens, and somewhere it gets stored in this chitta, which is a part. So the whole one mind will act in all these ways. Vikalpa, saṅkalpa, vikalpa as one aspect of it. Buddhi is one aspect of it. Ahaṁkāra is one aspect of it. Chitta is one aspect of it. That is why the verse Vedānta says, antar-karaṇa ekam. There is only one inner organ. Tad vrittibhedat mano buddhi ahaṁkāra chitta abhidanam. So because of different aspects of the same entity, it is called as manas, buddhi, ahaṁkāra, chitta. This is in Tattvatraya. I don't even know what the Tattvatraya book is. Okay, Tattvatraya Adhikara or something. I don't know. Shribhashya says, Atmanastu svataha samvit rupaha manasascha jadatvat. The mind functions only by conjunction with the self. It is jada. Mind is not sentient. And only Atma is sentient. Jīvātman here is sentient. So it is mind is an instrument in cognition and volition, willing, doubting, and things like that.
So saṅkalpa actually is more related to the Atman, right? The jīvātman.
Yes.
Mind will become only an instrument then.
Mind becomes only an instrument. See, in every aspect, the true, what do you call, that's a good question you asked. In the Bhagavad Gita, there comes, right? Ahaṁkāra vimūಢātma kartāhamiti manyate, right? Thing is, what is the full verse? This is an important verse. I can't be. One second. Just a second.
Prakritis kriyamanani.
To prakriteh kriyamanani, right?
Yeah.
Prakriteh kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvashaha ahaṁkāra vimūఢātma kartāham iti manyate. Okay, let me get back. Prakriteh kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha. Only the prakriti is acting. Karmani sarvashaha. So all the time prakriti is acting. Ahaṁkāra vimūఢātma kartāham iti manyate. This ahaṁkāra, the guy who is deluded with ahaṁkāra and delusion, he thinks that he is the doer. So this verse is taken in by the Advaitins, taking that jīvātman is never the doer. Jīvātman is same as Brahman. Brahman is nirvikara, nishkriya. So he is not the doer. So, but Vishishtadvaitins does not take it this way. This is the third chapter. Anybody remembers what exactly Vishishtadvaita thinks about this?
So basically, we cannot take the gunas of the Prakriti as our gunas. We should not mismatch that. That's it. That's the meaning.
That is true. Our gunas comes as with the sambandha of the body, mind in the complex. That's one way of looking at it. Another view there is kartrutva. There are two types of kartrutva for jīvātman. One is that which the kartrutva or agency because he has a body. That which comes because of the connection with the body is kartrutva, right? One aspect, that is all actions in this universe, whatever we do, that comes because we are connected to the body. But there is another aspect of kartrutva, jñātritva, bhoktrutva, which still remains even after going to Vaikuntha, giving up this material bondage. And going to Vaikuntha also you have kartrutva, bhoktrutva, jñātritva. That is the true knowledge of jīvātman, true ability to do true actions. There you enjoy Paramatma there using those kartrutva, jñātritva, bhoktrutva. Experience, enjoyment, everything is there for jīvātman. There it is pure and unpolluted by the connection with matter. So that's how Vishishtadvaita takes that. So kartrutva, ahaṁkāra vimūಢātma kartāhamita manyate, this is only related to activities related to the universe. There, the kartrutva, jīvātman does not have the kartrutva. Jīvātma gets the kartrutva because of association with matter. That's all. Here.
Oh, this is what I was trying to ask actually the other day in the class. You used the word mind in that slide, and it was not supplemented with the Sanskrit word what that mind actually meant. Whether it meant antar-karaṇa or the one of the functions of antar-karaṇa, which is manas. That's all I was trying to ask the other day.
Okay. Sure, got it. See, as we know, I'm not very good in my language. You might have already realized. Whatever I think, I can't express it in the right words. That's my problem. Some people are very good in their whatever they think, they express their words properly. Many times I put the wrong words to mean something else, which I have in my mind. This is some problem I have.
Yeah, so I just wanted to confirm whether you meant the manas part of the antar-karaṇa or the entire antar-karaṇa itself is what I was trying to ask you.
See, the entire antar-karaṇa behaves in four ways. That's all, right? Depends on
I understand that. I completely understand that. Yes. Thank you.
But the main function is the mind, no? It is only the main part which plays a role. Other antar-karaṇas don't play that much important role.
See, what are the other antar-karaṇas?
It's like only mind, others like eyes and ears and this. They only bring the things to the mind.
That is a good point. Eyes, ears and all send the information to the mind first. So the mind is the collector of all information. So eyes, you can say eye has an antar-karaṇa portion of it because the subtle eye, eyes means the vision eyes. External is the camera portion of it. It's just the physical apparatus. When it goes to the nerve system and other thing, how the nerves connect to your brain and how the brain connects to your consciousness, those are a slightly subtle inner organ in a way. So if you say mind, we in the Vishishtadvaita, mind is made as this only inner organ because the rest, eyes and ears, and they're in a way external. And that they give the information. Eyes, whatever sight you have, suppose you see something, a tiger or something, right? The eyes and even the inner organ of the eye cannot understand that tiger. What happens is it goes to your mind. The mind refers and goes back to the previous historical database in the chitta of what did I see this before? Oh, I saw something about tiger in a zoo. Okay, this looks similar to the tiger in the zoo. Okay, now I'm seeing a tiger. Even this decision, mind is only it puts together the sequence. Mind can only know one view at a time. So it has to serialize. So mind, what it puts, it takes one picture, next picture, and then combines it with the database of previous memory, and then puts back a reference, and then tells it to jīvātman. And jīvātman says, oh, now I know it is a tiger. So jīvātman is the one who really knows that it is a tiger. Mind cannot know. Mind can only show. Dharmabhuta Jnana also cannot know. Dharmabhuta Jnana only shows through mind.
That's
But
why
in
it is
this,
said Atma manasa sanyujyate mana
Correct.
indriyena
Yes.
indriyaha vastuna tataha pratyaksham.
Pratyaksham, exactly.
This is the
This is
process.
common in many systems like Nyaya also.
sir, but one logic doubt I wanted to ask: if you see the 7 pramanas, what I consider is Shabda is the most important pramana, then Pratyaksha and Anuvana, because from Shabda only we know everything, no? Right from the kindergarten to age, we are taught only through Shabdas, no? Because of the Shabda only
Not true. See, if you look at modern science, okay, 80% of your knowledge comes through your eyes. 20% of the common only comes through your ears and other, touch and other taste and other senses.
Shabda here means it's all the Vedas, that's what somebody else had taught me.
Okay, Shabda is Veda only. If you take Shabda as Veda, what you call, only some portion you can know through Veda, right? Not directly, Pratyaksha is already there and you know many things by Pratyaksha itself.
Yeah, we know, but like when there is a doubt, we had to go by the Shabda as the final
Exactly,
conclusion.
that is Veda Shabda.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the two to determine, see, here you need to be careful when you say Shabda is Pramana. When, you are dealing with beyond sensory perception, then Vedic texts are the Pramana which can guide you. That is,
That's
if
exactly
it is
what I
sensory
was
perception,
told by
if the sensory perception is itself is going to give you enough information, this is a cell phone and I'm using it, that's good enough for me. I'm using the cell phone, I'm not making any mistake in it. But if you need beyond sensory perception, something beyond like mind, indriya, or something which you cannot touch, feel, jīvātman, paramatma, there Shabda is very valuable. That is where it says Vedas are the Pramana there. Yeah. Okay, now we'll go further because we will get stuck in this whole thing forever. Like, we need to finish some portions here. 1 second. So manas is atomic, one sense contact at a time. See, mind can connect only to the eyes or ears or something like that at a time. And it goes in sequence so fast. So that's why I can combine what I hear and what I see. But at a point, it only connects to one sense at a point, at an instant. Okay. And mind mediates between cells and the sense organs. Jīvātma and eyes, Jīvātma and ears and all, mind is in the middle. It mediates. So in the Nyaya Siddhanta Vedanta says, without manas, no cognition arises. Atma Jnana is worldly perception. In worldly perception needs the mind as upādhi. Okay. But Atma Jnana, which leads with beyond the world perception, it does not need the mind. But for all worldly perceptions, it needs mind as the upādhi, connector. Right? The mind as internal connector, antar-karaṇa. That is the one. Then antar-karaṇa hierarchy is indriyani bahyani. The first comes indriya, the external senses, that is eyes, ears and all. Antar-karanam madhyamam, the mind is in the middle. Atma pradhanaha, the main knower is jīvātma. So jīvātma is the principal knower. Mind coordinates the medium of other different inputs, 5 inputs. In liberation, antar-karaṇa ceases to function. That is, mind does not function in moksha. So self-dharmabhuta jnana expands infinitely. Everything is directly known. Cognition becomes direct knowledge and becomes unobstructed. Distinctive features of Vishishtadvaita: one real antar-karaṇa, not 4 separate parts. Realism versus Advaita's mithyatva. Consciousness as attribute, dharmabhuta jnana, and liberation knowledge independent of instruments. So, so summary: antar-karaṇam ekameva tad vritti bhedat. This is already done, right? This is already, and the references are given here in case. So this is one question. Okay, this is one question. Then comes the next question. Now it's already 8:48. What does it mean? We started at 7:48, roughly, maybe more. I don't know. 1 hour over. How is time for you now? Do you want to go to the next question?
We can
yeah.
start
Okay.
with that.
We can go.
We can go. Okay, now let's go to the next question. The next question was asked by, oh, okay, no, that's not the one. Yeah, this is not the one. Yeah, this is the one. How is Maya differently understood in Vishishtadvaita and compared to Advaita? There's a question asked. Let me see if I have anything in Maya in Advaita and Vishishtadvaita. Can you see my screen? Maya in Advaita and Vishishtadvaita.
Not yet.
Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? Hold on a second. See, I went to Zoom and say share, and then say Maya. When you say.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see. So in Advaita, I'm now giving you a very traditional view of Maya. Okay, I'm not going to give complex, in-depth details like how different acharyas look at it in extremely depth and all. It's hard to do it. And I'll give you a very simple answer. Maya is a willing power. That is, it projects the universe, because the universe has nothing other than projection in Advaita, right? So the thing is, Maya is indescribable. Willing means it hides Brahman from all our view. So it's anirvachaniya, indescribable. It is neither real nor unreal. If it is real, it has to be same as Brahman, but it is separate from Brahman. If there is anything separate from Brahman, that has to be unreal. If it is unreal, it cannot express itself, but it is expressing itself. It is not even both real and unreal. It cannot be logically categorized in any of this. Is it real or unreal, or is it both, or is it neither unreal or neither real? All the four possibilities, it is beyond. Anirvachaniya. Where did this concept of tetrafold lemma, they call it as fourfold lemma, or called tetrafold lemma, tetralemma. Where did it come from? Anybody?
Madhyamika school of thought, sir.
Yes.
Nagarjuna's.
Yes. So the thing is, Maya, takes this concept pretty much directly from the Madhyamika school, which is a later development from the Hinayana, earlier, almost realistic schools of, a little bit of realistic schools of the Buddhism. Now, beginningless, it has no origin. It exists eternally with Brahman. Okay. So, Sadeva Somya Idameva Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam is there, right? Sat only existed, one only, Advitiyam without a second. Right? There's only one which existed. What does Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam? What is the next sentence? So Kamayata? Is it next? No. That is Chandogya. One second, just a second, because it's very, very important to know that particular verse. Let me just try to type it up. It says, Sadeva Somya Idamagrasi Dekameva Advitiyam Tadha Eka Ahuhu Asadeva Asit Aside Ekameva Advitiyam Tasmad Asataha Sajjayata. It says, then Kutastu Karu Somya Evam Syaditi Hovacha Katamat. सौम्य कथं सत्त्वेव सौम्यदमग्र आसीत् एकमेव अद्वितीयं. Then what happens? Then it's tadaikshata bahusyam praja yeti. Okay, this will come back. So are you seeing this this particular thing, unreality of the world in Advaita? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put this in the play from current side. Okay, here the interesting thing is, just a second. Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam. There is what you call, there's only one. Then how did the other thing come? Tadaikshata, in the very verse, after it says there is only one in the beginning, without a second, then it says that thought. Aikshata means that willed. Shankaracharya says, well, if I take it as only one, there is only one existed, and that one is nishkriya, and that is actionless. It cannot create. It doesn't know anything. It cannot even will. How does it work? Shankaracharya says, no. Tadaikshata means Maya Shabalitam. Even Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit, he says, Maya Shabalitam Brahma Ekameva Asite. Shabalita means mixed up. Maya Shabalitam Brahma. That is, along with Maya, Brahman existed as one only. Oh, two things existed, right? Why are we saying there's only one existed? Maya and Brahman are two. So two existed, right? No, Maya doesn't even exist. Maya is not definable. So we cannot take Maya into account at all. And Maya is also one-sided. From a bound soul's perspective, Maya exists. From Brahman's perspective, Maya doesn't exist. You see, in some homes, right, they have mirrors or glass windows which can only allow you to see from inside, not from outside, right? From inside you can see outside, and from outside nothing is visible. Similarly, like that, from Brahman's perspective, there is no Maya, there is no Jīva, there is no bondage, there is no moksha, there is no sadhana, nothing exists. From Brahman's perspective. From our perspective, Maya exists, creation exists, everything exists. So, nature of Maya is very weird in Advaita. And main thing is, it is avarana shakti, vikshepa shakti. Avarana is obscuration or covering up of the true nature of Brahman, of oneness and non-duality. And the projecting power is, it creates the illusion of a diverse world of names and forms, namarupa. Now, unreality of the world in Advaita, mithya, the world is not truly existent like Brahman, and not completely non-existent like a sky flower. Okay, so here existent itself, Advaita talks about existence. This is where, what does existence means there? You have to go dig deeper into all the Shankara Bhashyas of Bradhamnika and Chandogya, Taittiriya and all these things to understand what exactly he means by existent and non-existent. Of course, sky flower is non-existent. There is no sky flower in the sky, right? The horn of the rabbit. There is no horns. Rabbit doesn't come with horns. So that is non-existent. So world, it is not, so the world is not like the horns of a hare or the sky flower. It is different. Empirical reality. Yes, as long as our interaction is there in the world, it is real. If it rains, if I go there, I get drenched. So the relative reality is definitely there. Transcendental, paramarthika satya, from the ultimate perspective, only Brahman is real. This universe vanishes. When Brahma Sakshatkara occurs, you see, they will not say universe vanishes, but universe true nature is understood as only Brahman. So a rope is mistaken for snake in the dark. The snake is real only until the light reveals the rope. When jnana comes, you see the rope, not the snake. So the snake exists only in unreal, in a mistaken situation. Similarly, universe exists in a mistake, as a mistake. Really speaking, universe does not exist. And what exists is universe itself is Brahman only. It's like saying the snake became the rope. Snake was never there to start with. Maya and Ishvara in Advaita. Ishvara Saguna Brahman, Brahman associated with Maya, personal God, creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe. So here the word Maya in Advaita, they accept Maya, Brahman is associated with Maya. That is the Saguna Brahman. See, they talk about two Brahmans. From our perspective, Nirguṇa Brahman cannot be realized because it is not an object of our knowledge in Advaita. So, for our perspective, the only thing which appears to us is only Saguna Brahman, and he is a creator, he is a preserver, he is a destroyer. There is no problem with it. Krishna is everything. Bhagavad Gita, Bhashya, Shankara Bhashya and Bhagavad Gita very clearly says a phenomenal manifestation of Brahman relevant within the realm of Maya. So Ishvara, who is Ishvara? It is what is phenomena is experience. Whenever you experience anything, that is relevant. You experience the world, you experience Ishvara also you can be experienced. It can be realized, and that is Saguna Brahman. So Maya is the upādhi, limiting agent that makes Nirguṇa Brahman appear as Saguna Brahman to jivas when they become better, when their knowledge is true. So liberation is realizing one's identity with Nirguṇa Brahman, transcending Maya and its effects. So even Saguna Brahman is the effect of Maya. So you have to go beyond all Maya. Then it is only you are the Brahman, Tattvamasi. That's only one. That's what.
Sir, here I have a doubt. They say Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji, is it considered to be a Saguna Brahman?
Yes, of course, yes. Yes. Anything related to creation, Hiranyagarbha is Hiranyagarbha, Hiranyagarbha, what is that? There is a Hiranyagarbha Sukta. He existed in the beginning, and from there everything came in. That is all creation oriented, and creation oriented is only Saguna Brahma. Maya in Vishishtadvaita is creative power of the God. That means Maya to Vayunam Jnanam, it says, right? That is the Amarakosha says Maya is Vayuna Jnana. Mayam to Prakritam Vidyat, Mayinam to Maheshwaram. Maya is Prakriti only. For Prakriti is the Shakti of the Lord. It is known as the Kshetrajna Shakti. What is the other Shakti? Kshetrajna Shakti. There are three Shaktis of the Lord in Vishnu Purana. Kshetrajna Shakti is one. One is the Jagat Shakti.
Is it Chit Shakti?
Chit Shakti, Achit Shakti. Achit Shakti should be there, Chit Shakti should be there, and Ishvara Shakti. There are three powers of the Lord. So it is Shakti of Brahman. Mayinam to Maheshwaram. Maya, he holds the Maya. Jalavan Ishate, Ishanibihi. He holds the rope where he is controlling everybody. Right? It is real, though dependent entity composed of Prakriti, primordial matter, and karma. So the thing is, he holds the Prakriti, primordial matter, and karma in his hands. And functions of Maya enables Brahman to manifest the diverse universe of chit and achit. So it allows him to become unmanifest world instead of the unmanifest world. From the unmanifest state to the manifest, here the Shakti to do it. It is the wonderful power.
Is it Hiranyagarbha Samavartatadye?
Correct. Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagre is there. Yes, that is a wonderful verse. Hiranyagarbha Sukta is very powerful in the Rig Veda. The reality of the world in...
Yeah, Prakriti means both manifested and unmanifested Prakriti we have to consider, or only the manifested Prakriti is what we have to consider here?
It depends on the context. Hold on. See, Prakriti is the Shakti of Brahman, whether it is manifest or unmanifest. Yes. Its primordial matter is unmanifest. So it's both manifest and unmanifest. Yes.
Correct. So what we are seeing now in this world is manifested Prakriti.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
yeah.
Unmanifest Prakriti is not knowable because it's very subtle.
Oh.
And
That is Mula Prakriti, unmanifest.
Mula Prakriti, exactly.
Prakriti is Mula Prakriti.
Mula Prakriti is before creation only somebody can see, or a yogi can probably see it. That's all. And the world is real. Universe is real transformation of Brahman's body. It says, right? Here there are a lot of depth in it. We need to figure out what it is. Okay. I have to give you a general law in the general idea. Many people forget. Oh, some people say this is Advaita, this is Vishishtadvaita, this is Dvaita and all. How would you really understand the truth? The truth doesn't come from these three acharyas directly. They're actually explaining the words of the Upanishads, which are the thoughts of the Rishis. When the Rishis meditated and went to the fourth state, Turyavastha, they expressed what they saw. And that is the true Vedas. So the thing is, these acharyas are giving a explanation of those original statements. So to know the truth, Upanishadic truth, what you have to do is you have to directly understand the original Upanishad. How do you understand the original Upanishad? You only know how Shankaracharya has explained this, Ramanuja.org explained this and that and this and things like that. You only know the somebody's explanation of it. Right? How would you know the true knowledge? You have to go to the fourth state of Turiya, like the Rishis went, and directly experience. And you should get rid of the tamoguna, rajoguna within you, and see the truth as is with pure sattva-guna. That's the only way you can see the truth. Till then, all these are just explanations. And that is why K.S.V. Swami mentioned there, these three are, see, even breaking Vedanta into Advaita, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Shuddhadvaita, and all this, it is a later intellectual analysis. Truly, breaking Vedanta into three is a myopic, short-sighted view. True Vedanta, if you understand, that means you realize the truth of the Upanishads, which were actual realizations. Unless you go to the state of the Rishis, you will never understand these words. The words have very mixed meanings. That is why KSV says, what Shankaracharya says as Maya and what Ramanuja.org says as Maya are pretty much the same. How can it be different? There are two ways of looking at it. This is unreal, this is real. Just because you use English terms, would you understand it? Ramanujacharya, see, Madhva Shankaracharya put it in a garb of the terms used by Nagarjuna and those kind of Buddhist prior people who existed before Shankaracharya in the 7th century, before 7th century. So he used that language. It is mystic. What do you mean by mystic language? Unless you know the jnana, you will not understand what that mystic knowledge is. Somebody told, it seems, a great yogi. He came to the great yogi and asked, Swami, I want to know the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. He says, very nice, very nice. You are an old man. I guess you had your brahmacharya or the thread ceremony or upanayana when you were maybe 10 years old or 8 years old. You've been chanting Gayatri Mantra, I guess, every day. Yes, Swami, I am chanting Gayatri Mantra every day. How many times do you chant per day? Usually 28 times in the morning, 28 times in the middle of the day, 28 times in the evening. I chant Gayatri Mantra while I do Trikala Sandhya. That's what this person answered. Oh, you do 28 times Gayatri? That's interesting. I have never heard of it, he said. Oh, Swami, where are you? You are a yogi. You have not heard that most people, they either chant 10 Gayatris or 28 Gayatris. Some people have a little bit more time in the morning, they chant 28 times. Some people chant 10 times. And I usually chant 28 times because I make enough time in the morning and midday and afternoon. So I'm still very surprised that you people chant so many times. If I try to chant, I might be able to chant it 1 or 2 or 3 times, that's all, max. I cannot chant more than 2 times. Then the student, what's wrong with you? I came here thinking that you're a big yogi. What's wrong with you? He says, chanting is just saying words. That is not chanting. You have to experience Gayatri Mantra within. That means you have to go inside, touch God, understand the 7 Vyaharitis. Not just mental understanding. All we are doing is textbooks. Vedas, textbooks. Upanishads, textbooks. All these things are textbooks. If you go deep into a different state, you directly know what that pranava is, what the Vyaharti is, what the Gayatri Mantra is. You see Brahman there. The sun is not the external Aditya, Surya, sunrise, I will do Sanyavana. That is not real Sanyavana. The sun should rise within your consciousness when you go to the Turiya-avastha. So all this textbookish thing is superficial. We need to understand that. So that yogi said to this person, whatever you are doing or is just words. Same thing Sanat Kumara says to Narada. Mantra videva aham natma videva. That's what Narada says to Sanat Kumara. I know all the Vedas, all the everything, but I don't know, I only know the mantras. But I don't know the real experience of Atman. So we need to think in that terms and not get deluded. Oh, this is Advaita, this is Vishishtadvaita, this is Advaita. You put those borders yourself. And even those borders are not even clear borders. When you go deeper into word Maya, that Maya becomes Shakti in the earlier parts of the Rigveda and all. Indro, Maya, Bihi, Puru, Rupa, Iyate, and all those things, that becomes Shakti. Later on, Maya becomes magician's Maya, it's illusion. Maya word itself is messed up. So the words are all messed up in a way. So you need to go inside and say the truth behind the Vedanta. That's important to understand. Now, I think I'll just quickly finish it. Chit and Achit are parts of Brahman, because they're always associated with Brahman. Just like for Shankaracharya, Maya is always associated with Brahman, right? How different is Shankara Bhashya and Ramanuja Bhashya here? Chit and Vichit, Ramanuja says they are real, 3 separate things. You have to understand that they are 3 separate things. And here he says, just understand Brahman as one. Maya is non-existing pretty much. Well, Maya has to be there for creation, and Shankaracharya agrees. And Brahman's attributes are this jīva and jaḍa. That's what Vishishtadvaita says. Maya and Ishvara and Maya is, there is no separation of Nirguṇa Brahma, Saguṇa Brahma, 2 separate Brahmans at all in Vishishtadvaita. There's one Brahman, Nārāyaṇa, who is all powerful, who is beyond ordinary words, who is beyond all our mental understanding. So Maya is a real power using which he sustains, creates, dissolves the universe. Liberation, one's true nature as dependent part of Brahman and attaining loving devotion to Bhakti. So Maya gives you some good things here. Maya is not all bad for Vishishtadvaita. It gives you this environment where you can train yourself to get the real Bhakti and attain Brahman. So it gives you a positive aspect of sadhana in this Maya. Even for Shankaracharya, sadhana is there in Maya only. So you don't have to go through this. We have already gone through this. In Advaita, they use a term called projection, hiding, obscuration, and all those things for Maya. Vishishtadvaita, it is real, intrinsic creative power of Brahman. They keep one Brahman, and that's it. The interpretations are different and seems to be not so different if you look at it in depth. These are just concepts which makes you think so differently. You hate each other because of certain I'm Advaita, you are Vishishtadvaita and Advaita. All kinds of things are superficial. When you go deep, there's one truth, and they will understand. They will understand, realize based on their level of realization. I'm going to stop here because there's no need for. We're already 9:13, 1.5 hours into this class. Why don't we take up the next questions tomorrow?
The explanation of what Shankaracharya and Ramanuja gave, they are not our experience. We have to experience our own thing after listening to them.
True.
Advaita and Vishishtadvaita
True.
and Dvaita.
Yes. True. Anyway, I think you got some idea here. We'll come back to the next question tomorrow. And tomorrow also, I will finish off this question answers. By the way, I have a general point. I don't want to mention it here. Maybe I should mention in the next class. When you ask questions, ask relevant questions to the subject matter. Because if you start asking questions about Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, Taittiriya and all those things, it goes on and on and on. And you'll become into eternal. You have to go in depth. This is not even in depth what we are dealing with, right? We haven't even defined satya properly in our class because it's so complex. And you cannot go arbitrary in your question answers. You have to go through, if you are dealing with Kema Upanishad, let us stick to that. And there's a problem there, we'll stick to that. Going all over will not help us. Too difficult. I cannot put 40,000 texts into one class. It's impossible. And I also don't have the clarity of mind to think about so many texts also. That's my inability. If K.S.V. Swami was sitting in front of you, you ask anything, he would answer immediately without looking at the textbook. So that kind of maturity I don't have. Very sorry. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarvagurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahma Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Sama Parabrahma Namaha, Parabrahma Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Haradana Parabrahma Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanastu.
Thank you very much.
Tomorrow we will continue with the question and
Namaskar.
same time roughly. I will send more notes, okay? Send some messages.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.